positive affirmations, sending love in abundance. This is Valerie M, aka Maxfield, standing in my truth. 2nd of February 2021. It's been a funny few weeks, and this podcast is called Communication Lit. It's a phrase that you will find coming up quite a lot on my new website, and you will find it, it's just communication lit. And in the end, you'll understand what communication lit if you continue to listen to the podcast over the next coming days. Also to mention before I actually launch into my spiel, I've just been asked to go on so many radio shows, and it's just not me. It really isn't. I started this with me standing in my truth. It wasn't about anything else apart from just standing in my truth. In all my years, I've experienced things. I've kept quiet about things. I let things just roll. I watch people run, literally trod all over me. But I still continue with a smile because it's called love. And even when basically what I was trying to say is people ask me to go on all different platforms, and I'm now going to have my own breakfast show. Would you believe a radio station has asked me to do a breakfast show, and I'm still mulling over it, but they are so persistent that I could do this along with some music. So, wish me luck, and I'll tell you a bit more later on. But going back, standing in my truth. Someone asked me the question, Valerie, who are you? And I thought, well, why don't you ask yourself that question? Because I ask you that. Who are you? Do we actually stand up to who we are as a person? When someone pays us a compliment, do we think that there's an agenda? Or do you not know how to accept that compliment? Do you feel the sincerity when they pay you that compliment? Or are you that numb that you just don't know when someone is actually praising you and thanking you for probably just saying hello? I know I don't do very well with compliments. It's not something that it doesn't sit well with me. And I think the reason for me, I can't speak for anybody else, and I hope it may resonate, is I've had so many people pay the most emptiest comments to me that genuinely, if someone is paying me a compliment, to even say, love your hair, or your smile, or I love what you're doing, or I always think that there's an agenda. Only because the one or probably 10 times that I've listened to a compliment and taken it on board, not show off about it, those people have always turned around to prove me wrong. And so that takes away love. So each day it's going to be a different segment about what love is. I can't give you about love all in one segment. I'm just showing you from my perspective what love can look like. Oh, I love your hair. Do you? Oh, I love your smile. Do you? How many times have you done that when someone, male or female, has done that to you? Especially if a man pays you that attention. Do you believe him? Are we that broken that when a man is genuinely saying, man, you turn me on, do we believe them? Or is it when a man says, you really turn me on, because you're so desperate and you're so lonely, right? You just go, oh, yes. And before he could even say, well, open it, your legs are open anyway. Sorry, don't mean to be that crass. But you get what I mean, don't you? You know what I'm saying, right? But, so, here you are, and men, this is not, it's like a woman saying, oh, baby, I love you. I love the fact that you've cooked me dinner. And, words are empty. That's a whole different subject, empty words. But when someone says, I love you, do they mean it? Has the word love become so frequently used that it's sterile? Yeah, it's sterile. You might as well put a bit of bleach and Dettol on it. You get me? Because by the time you use the word love and you wipe all over it, you've just taken away the actual meaning of love. Because we normally would say things like, oh my God, I so love that dish. Oh my God, I so love that man's face. Oh my God, I love yogurt. But do you love yogurt? Or is it just that, boy, that yogurt is nice. That was lovely. Do you see what I'm saying? So when someone says to you, I love you, what do you see or what do you hear? Is love just a feeling? Or has it just become a word? When I tell my friends, my bona fide friends, this is not men, but just bona fide friends, man, I love you. Let me tell you this. I mean it. I cannot use the word love just so simple. Because I feel fake. I've had fake love. I've been shown fake love. I've shown... And one of the things I noticed that some people do, and I'm guilty of it too. I mean, when you listen to all my podcasts, I seem to be guilty of a lot of things. With me, it's seeing it, doing it, getting over it, and making amends. And I will speak out about it. But someone says to you, I love you. And what do? We start to buy them things. We end up buying the person's affection. They've got so used to being given things that love gets attached to personal gifts. It's like Valentine's is coming up, and the first thing that we associate with Valentine's is roses. So if a man or a woman does not buy roses on that day, or in February, you feel that your partner doesn't love you, or you're not loved. Oh, I used to feel like that. And I don't go around going, it's a pagan thing, and I don't believe in it. A lot of people who say they don't believe in Valentine's is because they're not getting any love. It's because they've been treated badly when it came to Valentine's. They have no clue what Valentine's actually means, but they will listen to somebody else that will go on about it being pagan, and so they copy that. No, don't believe in it. I mean, I have spewed that Valentine's, you should show love all year round, every time. It's not easy to do, to show love, 24/7, especially when you want to take a pool cue and bash someone in their head with it because they're being, I won't use the word, because they're being an arse. So, but then, sometimes you can take that same pool cue and hit them in the head with it, but you still love them. You get what I'm saying, right? Anyway. But we attach, by giving someone a gift, the word love gets attached to that. So rather than love someone, you love them because they give you something. You could be dick whipped. That's giving you something. Because he could be so shy, but he's got the dick. And so, excuse me, we're grown adults here. So you could be dick whipped and you think that's love. that ain't love. That's just another part of the anatomy that a man has and a woman has, or a transgender or a lesbian can use a strap on. It's just part of a tool, it's part of the anatomy that gets to our erogenous zones and gives us that pleasure that we need. And it relieves stress. That's not love. That's just the added bonus of feeling love. The sexuality that makes that love feel like, oh, baby, how cool. Man, I love that. So, today, my question is, does your love stem from someone giving you something? Whether it be sexual, whether it be flowers, whether it be a handbag, whether it be something they bought in the supermarket and said, hey, baby, this is for you. Does that determine that you're in love? I think that's a very lovely thing to do, and someone, can treat you right and spoil you. And when they say they love you, you know they mean that. And you know that no matter what gift that person buys, even if it's just a pot plant or a card, you know they thought of you. Let's not use love just for Valentine's Day. Let's actually find out what love is. So today, standing in my truth, how do we determine what love is? I don't mean to get in between your relationship if you're asking yourself and you've listened to this and say, yeah, I don't understand what my man's doing, or I don't understand what my wife does or my boyfriend does. Yeah, I need to question that. You don't need to question anything. You should know. You should feel it. Don't associate a gift to say that is love. It's love is more than a word. It's definitely a feeling. It's a feeling that you just cannot do without that person. You need to hear that person's voice. Listen, I have lost love, as in not died, but I've lost a partner that I wish I could hear his voice today. I wish I could hear when he coughed, or just the touch of his hand when every time he walked, no matter where he walked, his hand would always be stretched out and I was along. Man, I can't express to you how that felt. The euphoria, the special that I felt when he stretched out his hand. And it could be if I was coming out of the car. It could be when we've gone into a shop and we've come out the shop. His hand was always, and I found myself, I don't know about anybody else who's experienced that with their partner, being tugged along like a schoolgirl, like a little girl that's on a crush. And, even 2-3 years on, that was beautiful. Beautiful. And I've only experienced that twice. Yeah, I've had guys I've been in another relationship where they've held my hand, but I knew that it just wasn't anything. So I can't take away the beauty of, I know how I felt, that tingling from the bottom of my feet. And, it was like my cheekbones were like, you couldn't physically see the smile, but I was smiling inside, and every single of those muscles were pushing up against my high cheekbones. And I was like, wow, oh my God, he's holding my hand and it's out in the street. He's claimed me. Oh my God. Wonderful feeling. I'd love to hear back from anyone who has had that euphoria. He used to open the car door for me, and you know, and you know, the funny thing is, and it stuck with me. It doesn't matter for me. You know, when a guy opens the car door for you, it's a beautiful thing. It's because they actually care about you, and I don't care what anyone wants to. That's my belief. You know, that they want to open the car door. And it's not just at the beginning of the relationship. Listen, a lot of people jump on the trains nowadays. But, you know, if you're going out, the guy comes and he opens the car door. A year on, 2 years on, 3 years on, it may lose its impetus. But it's lovely if you start out that way. For me, I open the car door for my man. If I get in, I will lean over and I will open the other side of the door for my man. It's just how I am. And if I do that, and I do it not because I'm trying to buy your affection, but if I, you know, it's something that's ingrained in me. Because if I care about you and I'm in love with you, or I'm feeling that passion of love, I automatically, somehow, it's just ingrained, I will lean over my seat and I will open the car door. And I remember doing it once for some guy, and you know how he went, like, whoa. I could see the look on his face, and I never said anything. And I just let him get in. And he sat, and we laughed, and we drove. And for the first time, his affection was, I don't know if it was just me opening the car door that made him, but we sat in the car, and as he's driving, he gently put his hand over onto my lap, onto my leg and my hand, and he squeezed it, and that was the first time I found that he showed some emotion. So what I'm saying to you, love comes in various different forms. Some people have their love so locked tight, they don't know how to share it. But I knew at that moment that for him to lean, you know, literally drive, it's silence, and, you know, we're listening to the music and we're looking at the road. It's a beautiful day. He then takes his hand off the wheel. Well, the other hand is on the wheel. And he just slides it over onto my hand and he just squeezed it. And he left it there lingering for a good 5 minutes until we had to change, you know, put his hand back on the wheel. Could you imagine? Again, that euphoria. It made me feel special. Absolutely special. It's those little things, those little quirks that lets you know that person cares about you. And whatever emotions they're feeling, it is slowly growing into the word they call love. I don't want to give away too much. There's so much more I want to share with you. But this is my daily podcast for every day. This is now the 2nd of February, 2021. I hope that you enjoyed going down memory lane of what love is, or how love can feel, standing in Valerie M's truth. You now have a wonderful day, and I'll catch you on the flip side tomorrow. If God gives me strength, that's what you get. Have a great day.